So in this video, we're going to talk all about wellness, stress, and weight loss. And it's one of those things I've noticed that I've been talking a lot about nutrition and fitness, but I've been missing the wellness piece, and stress is a big factor in your journey, whether it's fitness journey or weight loss journey. So it is important, and I want to talk about it today. My name is Mark, and I'm here to help you live a better, healthier life. My goal is to help as many people as I can get into shape and improve their quality of life. Now, if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about practical and effective ways to improve your health, your fitness, and your overall wellness, or if you're just interested in learning more about fitness and nutrition, start now by hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any videos coming up. And now, without further ado, let's jump right in. Before we jump into the body of this video in terms of the World Wellbeing Week, I've got a little challenge for you. Try and take 10 or 15 minutes a day to actually have a moment for you. Call it meditation, call it you time, whatever you want to call it, but take 10 or 15 minutes just to calmly think about where you are, what you're doing, your goals that you're setting, and what you're going to achieve in that day. Reduce your heart rate and just relax into it. It is one of those things that in the long run, that really will help you. Okay, so this week is World Wellbeing Week, and that's my excuse to talk about something. I find it much easier to talk about fitness and nutrition because they are fairly factual. They're fairly arbitrary. Generally speaking, if you eat less calories than you need, you lose weight. If you eat more calories than your body needs, you put on weight. Yes, there's lots to talk about in terms of proteins, carbohydrates, what things are better for you than others, but it's fairly factual. The whole idea of wellness, well-being, and stress is a little bit harder for me anyway. I never really particularly realize I'm stressed. The things that give it away for me is I've got psoriasis and eczema that flares up when I'm stressed on my arm. And I know that at particular moments of stress, I comfort eat, stress eat, whatever you want to call it. It's always been a challenge for me. It's something that I do mostly without even thinking about it, and then realize halfway through eating something that I wasn't actually hungry. It was just something had kicked in and caused me to eat. So it's really quite a difficult one for me. I don't know about other people, and please do leave a comment, in terms of how you feel about the whole idea of well-being and stress. But the thing for me is that there have been quite a few studies, and in terms of people who are mindful and deal with their stress along with nutrition generally have better results than if they do the nutrition on its own. It's one of those things that if we can recognize those triggers, those things that set us off on our comfort eating binges, then perhaps we can actually learn to deal with it in a more positive way. Positive in terms of not putting the calories on and then getting disheartened that you put the calories on. And it's that kind of cycle that goes round and round. Now, in terms of the practicalities of stress and what it can do for you, there is somewhere, I'll link it, the video I did on hormones in terms of how stress can actually impact you physically. But it also has an impact on how much energy you have in a given day, week, month. It's one of those things that if you're feeling stressed, you may well not be sleeping as well as you normally do. Therefore, you feel tired, therefore you're less energetic, therefore you do less, then you put on some weight, then you feel worse. And it's one of those horrible cycles that's so easy to get into and really quite difficult to get out of. It is one of those things that if you're losing weight, brilliant. But I could do with losing more weight, losing it a little bit more easily. And if I can avoid that stress eating, comfort eating, cycle of doom where I have less energy, so therefore I feel sorry for myself, so therefore I eat something, or I've had a bad day at work, or just life in general gets on top of you. I know that it's far easier to say than do, but there are lots of things out there. So I just want to talk about a few things that maybe you haven't tried, maybe you have and don't work for you, but certainly they're things that I've done over the years. And I want to start off with one. I'm certainly not affiliated, linked to them in any way, but there's a book out there called Fish, which is about choosing your attitude. It doesn't get you all the way, but it can help you with your energy levels and things. And if it's something that interests you, have a look for the book. It's about a fish market in Seattle, and it is something that is really good about only you can affect your own attitude, your own mood, if you like. So the focus is really very much on you to help yourself. That, for me, probably does 7 out of 10 days in terms of mindset. I've got a mindset that says, actually, life's pretty good. It is one of those things where you are losing weight, you are making progress, and generally speaking, I am quite happy. But then there's always that life gets in the way element. And how do you deal with that? One of the things for me, and I've said it before, I really do like walking. Walking is a form of exercise, but also for me, walking is also a chance for me to enjoy nature, enjoy the dogs running around with me as well, clear my head of any concerns and worries. For me, I generally during the week walk before work, and I get a good sort of 4 or 5 miles in the morning. No, 3 or 4 miles in the morning. And for me, that is a really good way of clearing my head, refocusing on the day, and being mindful of where I'm at, what I'm doing, and taking a little bit of stress out. I generally sleep better once I've done some exercise during the day as well, which is good. And it is one of those things that whatever it is for you, walking is for me, it is almost a form of meditation. It is one of those things where you put your walking boots on, you go off. For us, luckily within a few minutes you're into the hills. There's some nice paths, some nice scenery. With the weather changing, it always looks different. It's nice whether it's snowy or sunny. And for me, that is almost like meditation. It's a way of clearing the cobwebs from my brain, enjoying nature and all it has to offer, and actually getting some exercise in the meantime. Another one that I've really enjoyed, I don't do it as much as I should, and my wife is having a go at me for it, but since I hurt my neck, I haven't done any, which is yoga. There are lots of different types of yoga, and I certainly do not pretend to be anywhere even close to an expert. There's just too many types. But there are lots of types out there, which means there will be a type that you will enjoy and get a benefit from, both mentally and physically. I like to work on my balance and my flexibility, because having been bigger for a long time, my balance and my flexibility are not exactly good. I'm trying to be nice to myself there. They're shocking. They are absolutely shocking. So yoga has a few impacts. It's some exercise, which is more exercise is good. It helps with flexibility in terms of getting into some of those positions, your endurance and your strength from being in some of those positions and holding them. But it also acts as a little bit of a mental clearance for you in terms of, again, a little bit like meditation, but doing something physical to get there. And that brings me on to meditation. Now, again, there are so many different types out there. Whether you're one of the people that just sits in silence, has some music on, stares at a candle, whatever it is for you, that is another great way of de-stressing, concentrating on your breathing, concentrating on yourself, and actually working on you, your stress levels, and hopefully helping you get a little bit more active, energized, probably getting some better sleep at night as well, and generally dealing with the stresses that life throws at you. I know that those things, walking, yoga and meditation, are not going to remove all the stresses that modern day living is going to throw at you. From putting food on the table to working to earning wages, there's lots of stresses out there. But anything you can do to actually help manage that stress, which hopefully will help you avoid that binge eating cycle, may well give you better night's sleep as well, which will help you in the long run anyway, because it'll make you feel more energized and up for doing exercise, etc. So all of those things are really good ways to manage your stress and help with your overall wellness. And it is one of those things that while you're meditating or walking or doing your yoga, have a little bit of a think about what your triggers are. What causes those little things that send you over the edge, send you reaching for a cigarette or some food or whatever else it may be? Because those are things that you can actually do something about, either to try and avoid, reduce, or have a better coping mechanism for how you deal with them. Have something healthier, that apple rather than the chocolate bar. Whatever works for you. It is one of those things that being mindful about your stress in conjunction with your nutrition and using the TD calculator for your calories, etc., those things will leave you feeling in the long run far better, with far more energy and more able to cope with both the stress of life, but also help me with your weight loss journey. It's really important. And although World Wellbeing Week is the excuse to talk about this, it's something that I've talked about little bits in the past. I've talked about hormones and sleep and all the rest of it. But having those things, with the water, the nutrition, the calorie kind of TD calculator idea, but also with a good night's sleep and a reduced stress level, really will help you in the long run. As always, if you like these videos, please do smash the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm, and leave me a comment below. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.